marvelous Kolkata that reverberates with her soulful strains of Rabindra Sangeet and the call of the Bal Geeti. With its ancient culture and classic literature, the crucible of Indian tradition and heritage. Magical Bombay, where the shining swords narrate valorous tales of the Rajput warrior, where the undying heroic spirit of the Kshatriya lives on, where the majestic echoes of the royal Gharanas linger, where the doins of Hindustani Sangeet reign supreme. The seat of the Chera Chola Empire, the melting pot of Dravidian culture and prestige, Madras. The evolution of present-day banking in India was from the three presidency banks that were formed under the British Company. They were the Bank of Calcutta, which was formed in the year 1806 in Kolkata, the Bank of Bombay in 1840, and the Bank of Madras in 1843. The Indian Coinage Act of 1835. It was on the basis of this act that the British government introduced a unified coinage system in India. The 1860s. The British companies had invested a major portion of their capital in Malabar. The 1860s was the golden era of sea trade. The time when the celebrated backwaters, canals and rivers of Kerala flowing their way into the seas opened up the way for new and adventurous routes for travel and trade. A glorious period when the estates and gardens in the hilly expanse of Wayanad and Coorg bloomed and flourished with aromatic spices.
After the first Indian War of Independence, and when in 1858 the government of India took charge of the control of the affairs of the country from the East India Company, the government of India decided for the first time to introduce their own currency, and that was done by the Paper Currency Act of 1861. With the introduction of the paper currency of the government of India, the right which the three presidency banks had of issuing notes was withdrawn. And as a compensation, the government of India said that if the presidency banks opened branches in the interior parts of the country, the government would place their treasury balances with these branches. And that's how, from 1862, the three presidency banks started looking into branch banking. The Bank of Madras, like the other two banks, concentrated on opening branches at all important trading marts and the ports of Madras Presidency.
Cochin, the Queen of the Arabian Sea, the port city of Kerala. 1862 witnessed the birth of the first branch of the Bank of Madras in Kerala in this port city of Cochin. Amazing indeed would be a glimpse into the period which saw the tremendous surfeit of assets in Malabar, with of course Kozhikode and its neighbouring regions being the principal centres of trade in Malabar. The Huzur treasury of Kozhikode proved insufficient to store the income generated out of the meteoric rise of trade and business in Kozhikode. The British company hence decided to shift the funds and deposits of Kozhikode to the Cochin branch of the Bank of Madras. But the provincial law of the period did not permit the transfer of the investments and associated transactions to another centre. This unusual situation led to considering the idea of opening a new branch of the Bank of Madras at Kozhikode itself. Needless to say, this promising idea progressed to the most fruitful realization.